I'm working. Still working on the same thing I was working on earlier. I gotta record a bunch of videos, record a gang of videos, and oh, it's three. It's three of those. So let me see which one is which. The first one, that's the first one. It's the second one. Man, good thing I got this goddamn iPad. Stuff that I'm doing right now. This is the perfect device for that. Let me see. 317. Hmm. Hey, what up, world? I'm working right now on my like I said, I'm a teacher, so I'm working on some of my material. I'm an entrepreneur teacher though, so I got to come up with my own. Um, well, I don't come up with my own material, but I'm saying I gotta have the material ready. That's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing all day. It's highly necessary. Now, y'all might fuck around and see me go from rags to riches. Straight up. Alright, let me see. Cut that one. Oh shit. Alright, let me see. What was that? Boom, boom, boom. Let me do this one. Tomorrow I'm gonna go do a practice class. Just because I did a class Tuesday and I wasn't satisfied with how I did the class. Cause I ain't been doing this in a while. It's been a while. Cause even when I had my company before, towards the end, I wasn't even the instructor. So it had been like probably like a few years that I hadn't even been an instructor. So I got to brush back up on this. I don't like to be in class feeling like I'm a goofy.
Shop.
You know what I'm saying? So I like to know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna study tomorrow and do a practice class. Just about me, myself, and I. But business as usual. Let me see. This back time to get back to business. All this depressed and all that is goofy. Yeah, I was depressed. I ain't gonna lie, uh, wifey, you got me down. You know what I'm saying? You got me down on that when I was depressed and sad for a few years there. Slowed down my progress. But I ain't gonna even fault you for it. It's my fault. Shit. I ain't even know I was depressed and all that. I didn't know. I thought I was just sleepy and sad all the goddamn time. And then I started looking into what I started seeing cause I think the phones have had to be reading your mind or something. 'Cause I started seeing commercials and shit about depression and stuff. And they was talking about how you be sad and shit and like a bunch of time will go by and it only seemed like a few days. I was like, damn, that's what be happening to me and shit. Like it'll be like 2 weeks done went by, but in my mind it feel like a couple days and shit. Cause it's like you just kind of like you be on like remote control type of shit. You just be like a bee or something. You don't be thinking about nothing. So a bunch of time will go by. You don't even know all the time that went by and shit. That's definitely a thing. Let me see what the next one is. Boom, boom, boom. All right, what we got here. Okay, good. I might start filming these classes when I get back up. It ain't gonna take long. Damn, what the hell just happened? Why is it doing that? What the hell? Why is it doing that? What the fuck is going on with this? Is it? Maybe it's not. I don't know what the hell happened with that. All right, well,
Volume and flow.
Alright. This. Alright, bet. Boom. Almost done with this. That's why I'm trying to go and finish it. I don't want to stop because I'm almost done. I wasn't going to do it tomorrow, but I had already started doing it. And I don't like starting something without finishing it. Never want to get in the practice of starting stuff without finishing it. Whatever it is. Let's see. Alright, boom. 1 minute. What y'all think about what's happening in the world, though? Y'all think Trump trying to start a war? I think ICE and shot a few more people. They the police though. The police been shooting people. I don't know why everybody else surprised and shit. Police been whacking folks. That ain't new. That ain't some new thing or something. That's been a thing. So what they thought they thought, how y'all think y'all excused from the whacking? Y'all ain't excused from the whacking. What's wrong with this video?
Life-threatening bleeding. You need to push hard and for a long time, ensuring there is a firm, flat surface underneath the injured body part makes using direct pressure more effective. This may be painful for the injured person, so let them know it will.
Dang. That one's trashed. I need to actually open the video again and record it. I might not record right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-record that one.
"30 chest compressions, followed by 2 breaths. Place your hands in the center of the person's chest.
finish doing this tomorrow or today actually, later today, technically. I'm ready to get back on bougie. I don't know, I like nice shit. I like having shit and, you know, not being such a slave. Even though you pretty much gotta be a slave no matter what. It's just different levels to it. But you still gonna be in debt to taxes, to um to racism. You in debt to a whole bunch of shit. So that means you still a slave pretty much. Even the people that's rich, even rich people, still kind of like slaves. Some of them not. Some of them are. Well, pretty much everybody, because everybody got to answer the tax man. So you enslaved to the taxes, if nothing else. Unless you just don't make no money at all and just live under a bridge or whatever. Hey, you think the bums file their money on taxes? The money they get in the can or whatever. Somebody give them some money, they don't file none of that shit on taxes. That's a donation. I don't think you got to file a donation. But, if you running this rat race, you a slave to taxes, slave to this, slave to that. Freedom is really a myth. That's not really a real, because you free to do what? What are you free to do exactly? I be wondering when they say you free, it's a free country, what do they mean by that? Free to do what exactly? What am I free to do? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of stuff that I be wanting to do that's illegal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not free to do those things. So I'm not so sure I'm free. This is a free country. I'm free to do the things you allow me to do. What the fuck? So it ain't free then. Quit being so elusive with the words and all that. And just start being real with the people. Stop being all the, secret, putting on the analogies and all that. Just come direct. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to enslave us. Just say it. Y'all done enslaved, not even trying. Y'all done enslaved us. Y'all done convinced so many people that this is the right way to go that you even get shunned if you don't want to be a slave. There's so many people that's slaves and that's content with being slaves that they shun the people that don't want to be slaves. How dare you? How dare you not want to be a slave? Who do you think you are, mister? Oh, shit, man. I don't know who I think I am. I don't even know. I don't know about none of this shit. This whole cipher, this whole earth thing and all that, this whole little setup. Why everybody be lying all the time about everything? This whole religion stuff everybody done made up. All this whole little concept. The fact that we're on some rock just floating around in some fucking space matter or whatever it is. I don't get it. I was like, damn, this is weird. The fuck is this for real? It do make you wonder. That's why people be grabbing on the religion and stuff like that. Because it do make you wonder, like, damn, what the fuck is this? I'm saying, what the hell is this? Why am I doing this? Dealing with this? And I never been the person to say, I didn't ask to be here. I never understood when people say that. I didn't ask to be here. Why did, technically, no one asked to be here. Why do you have to point that out? Who asked to be here? Not one person asked to be here. So why would you say, I don't ask to be here? That's obvious. That's like saying the sky is blue. Oh, the sky is blue. Okay, we know that. Why are you saying that? People say that. I didn't ask to be here. Why do I have to do this? Nobody asked to be here. What are you talking about? Like you special or something? Ain't now person asked to be here. There ain't one person that asked to be here. You know what I'm saying? You can't. So if that's a thing for everybody, what's the point of pointing it out? That's why I never understood that when people say that. Cause I don't just dry talk. I say shit I like mean when I say and shit. Somebody say I ain't asked to be here. That mean you just dry talking. You just saying some shit to hear yourself talk. I didn't ask to be here. Of course not. The fuck? Maybe I'm too literal. Am I taking it too literal? Cause I am too literal sometimes. I think that's my autism. I'm too literal sometimes. Like not even sometimes, all the time. People be cracking jokes and shit. I be taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? Cause I be thinking it's literal, and they don't be meaning what they saying. They kind of like cracking a joke or being sarcastic or something. But it take me a minute to even catch it and shit. Okay, I catch it, but it be too late and shit. I catch it later and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what they were saying. But yeah, this is a weird thing that we doing. This life thing. We floating around in space and stuff. Then the humans. Why the humans be lying to the other humans and shit? Some of the humans telling the other humans they know how the world was created. So that's crazy when you really think about it. You got one group of humans telling another group of humans how this world was created, uh, uh, how many planets. They claim they know how many planets it is. They got a number. They say it's 1 trillion. Woo, 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 woo. They claim they know stuff they don't even, couldn't even possibly know. It's not even possible to know the stuff you're talking about. The uh, humans. That's why I don't believe nothing. That's why I'm so doubtful of everything. Because just the human character is a liar. Straight up. The character of a human, like that animal, the human animal, like that's one of they defensive traits, I guess, or how they cipher through, how they move through this life, is they lie a lot. Humans lie a lot. That's why I don't believe the Bible. I don't believe nothing they say about space. All that shit they be saying about space is a lie. Uh, uh, Jupiter is 600,000 light years away. The sun is so many light years away. You don't know how many no light years, none of this shit you talking about. You don't even know if any of that shit is even for real. All of that stuff might be some type of projection, some aliens or something is projecting for us to see. Got us thinking that we in space. We probably ain't even in space. Probably in some type of simulation dome or something. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I don't buy nothing nobody say about space. I don't buy nothing nobody say about nothing. You know what I'm saying? To be honest. Because humans been lying the whole time. Think about it. Think about all the different uh uh like the different civilizations and all that. They was all lying about every goddamn thing. They remember they used to kill the women, saying they was witches. They was lying. The women wasn't no witch. She just wasn't fucking with y'all in the Christianity shit. She wasn't no witch though. They killing the women, saying they witches. She's all kind of the human character is a liar. Kind of like how the lion is a fighter and ferocious. That's his thing, being ferocious and fighter and all that. The human's thing is to be a liar, be deceptive and be a liar. That's like our defense thing. We lie. That's deceptive. Try to confuse and delude every goddamn thing. So that's why I don't trust humans. Cause I know our character. We ain't hitting no shit. We'll lie, steal, and cheat. We don't give a damn. That's how we survive. So that's why I don't believe nothing humans got to say. The Bible, none of this shit. Because humans wrote that. Why would I follow some shit a human wrote? I'm a human. Why would okay, none of us know none of this stuff. Nobody knows why we floating on a rock, this, that, and the third. Nobody knows that. Why would I believe anybody coming to me with a story about it? I don't believe none of y'all. I think y'all all try to manipulate me. And then the Israelites, they the worst. Because the Israelites, they try to act like they not Christians. The Israelites is kind of, to me, it's kind of like the trans people. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but listen to what I'm saying. You know how the trans people, kind of like, well, not the trans people. It's like, you know how they separate themselves. Um, I feel like the Israelite. I guess it ain't like the trans people. I guess it's a bad analogy. But the Israelites, they try to separate themselves from the Christians. How is that? What's the difference? Y'all talking about got the same book. You can't tell that. That's like peeing on my leg and tell me it's raining. You reading the same exact book. You trying to tell me y'all got a different thing? That don't make sense. No, the Muslims have a different thing because they have a different book. You have the exact same thing. You reading the same book. You going by the same stuff. You're a Christian. You just don't want to call yourself that because you got whatever. It's just like, yeah, that's what I meant by the trans things. Is you're a man. You just don't want to call yourself because you don't like men. You know what I mean? You don't like being a man. That's like the Christian and Israelite thing. Same thing. They don't want to call themselves Christian because they just don't like Christians. You know what I'm saying? But that's still Christian. The stuff y'all talking about, that's all Christian stuff. All the Bible stuff and all that, that's the Christian stuff. When we talk about Christianity, we talk about the Bible stuff. What the hell is y'all talking about? Because the Israelites be trying to say they not Christians. But when you reading from the Bible, what are you talking about? So what did you call it? Just because you calling it something different or something? It's the same. I could call it whatever. I can call it a car. If you got a vehicle, you call it a vehicle, a car, an automobile. You can call it whatever. It's still the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Still, if I got a car sitting right here and I call it a car, and then somebody else could walk up and call it an automobile, then somebody else walk up and call it a vehicle, somebody else walk up and call it transportation. Did it change did the car change? Did the item change? Or were we just calling that one thing all something different? We were just all calling that one thing something different. It's still the same car. It didn't change color or nothing. Just one person was calling it an automobile, one person was calling it a car, one person was calling it a vehicle. But it's the same item sitting there. You see what I'm saying? That's the Christianity thing. It's the same thing. Israelite stuff is the same, ain't no different. To me, the Israelites is like the people that say they spiritual. They just holding on to that. They don't want to let that shit go. The whole Christian thing. It's really time to let that shit go, to be honest, y'all. But the people that saying they Israelites and all that, they just don't want to let it go. So they try to flip it to the black version or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And the people that say they spiritual is the same thing. They don't want to let go of that whole thought process that there's some ghost or something. So instead of calling it Christianity, they call it spiritual. I'm spiritual. I'm not. I'm not a Christian. I'm a spiritual. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. What? That's the same thing. You just trying to call it something else. It's the same thing what I was just talking about. You just want to call it something else because you're ashamed of whatever it really is. You know what I'm saying? So you got to call it something else. Oh no, I'm spiritual. Ain't no ghosts and all that. Y'all making up shit. Ain't no ghosts. Ain't no spirit realm and all this stuff. Ain't none of that. We animals on this planet doing animal shit. And we might be mixed with alien. And that's why we smart as fuck. Other than that, it's just shit. We ain't no motherfucking spiritual and all that. That ain't real. That's some shit humans, that's how you know, that's another example. What I was just saying about how humans be making up shit. All that spiritual, my chakras and all this type of shit. On my horoscope, look at the stars, it connects with this and all this stuff. All of that shit is just math. That's why it seems like it makes sense sometimes. Because it's just mathematics. Shit just adding up and shit. Okay, this right here, the sun rotates around this planet so many times. If you put this math here with this math, it's gonna equal this. It's just that on a different level. The horoscopes, all that shit is just math. So that's why it seems like it makes sense and shit. Just like math seems like it makes sense. When you say 1 plus 1, that makes sense to say 2. Because if you put one thing right here and put another thing next to it, you're gonna have 2 things. So it makes sense. You see what I'm saying? So shit just gotta make sense. And none of this shit makes sense. But you still got people running around acting like they got it figured out. And then a religion, here's the thing about religion, especially like the pastors and the churches and all that. How you gonna tell me about God? What the fuck? Why am I listening to you tell me about this God character or whatever? Who are you? Who did God come to you and tell how did he who the fuck is you? I didn't ask for a spokesperson. I wanna talk to dude. I don't wanna talk to you about dude. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? You probably lying and manipulating this shit. Cause we know that's what humans do. So you probably doing that. So why would I even listen to you? I ain't never bought that stuff. Never. When I was a kid, I went to church because I had to. I didn't want to go. And I realized at a young age that all that religion stuff was foolishness. And then what that made me realize too is that humans are foolish. Humans just do whatever the fuck. Like humans, whatever's popular, they just gonna go with it. That's why the Christianity thing is so big, is it's popular. That's why they feel like it's the real thing. Like, oh, this is really how it happened. You know, this how are these people gonna tell you how the world was created? Y'all never. This is the simple thing. You ain't even gotta really dig too deep into the shit. Just a simple thing like that. How can somebody tell you how the world was created? Can't nobody tell you that. It don't even make no sense. How the fuck can somebody tell you that? Even the whole Big Bang theory, that's bullshit. You don't know what no Big Bang and all this bullshit you talking about. Y'all just saying some shit, cause y'all know a lot of the goofies gonna believe you. Just 'cause, but none of that ain't no Big Bang. That sounds stupid. It was a little dot and it exploded. Come on, man. Y'all could have even came up with something better than that. I feel like y'all smarter than that to come up with that. That don't even make sense. That sound dumb. Ain't no Big Bang. That sound dumb. Y'all don't know nothing about what happened a billion, about all these multiple billions of years ago. Yeah, like y'all know what happened billions of years ago. That sounds crazy. Y'all can't even solve a murder that happened a few days ago. You know what I'm saying? And y'all talking about y'all know what happened a billion years ago and shit. Oh yeah, we know what happened a billion years ago. 4 billion years ago, we know exactly what happened. We can even write a book about it. See, I don't believe none of that. I don't buy none of that. Y'all believe that stuff. Y'all believe whatever they say. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That what it is? Nah, I don't buy none of that shit. Because it don't add up. How would you know what happened a billion years ago? You don't even know what happened 100 years ago. What? How would you? Yeah, you can't even conceptually like begin to like pretend like you know what happened a billion years ago. No matter what kind of science experiment you did, none of that even matters. You don't know what kind of variable was involved in this a billion years ago. Yo, whatever calculation you making, it could be totally thrown off by some shit that happened, a million years ago. A million years ago could have been all dragons just flying around in space and everything. Space dragons flying around. But somehow some black hole and one of the space dragons shit out a turd and it was the earth. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what happened. You really don't know. You just saying, okay, we think it was this. But that don't mean that's what it was. You don't know. Nobody knows. Billions of years, you don't have no way of even knowing that. It could have been so many different variables in place. The the sun could not even been a sun back then. It might have been an ice ball. It done changed, it done evolved into some other shit. You don't know, nothing. That's what I'm saying. I don't like that. It's like a supremacist thought process to think that you know every goddamn thing. Stuff that you don't even have the possibility of even knowing. You can't even pretend that you know that. That you know what happened 30 billion years ago. That you know how many light years and all this it'll take to get to the other universe and how fast the universe is expanding. Like, you really know that as a human. You know how fast the universe is expanding, or if the universe is even expanding at all. The fact that humans be telling y'all they know this type of stuff is crazy to me. The fact that y'all believe it is wild. You gonna believe it? That's like an insect. The ant. It's like an ant telling you how to build a fighter jet. You know what I'm saying? It's like an ant. An ant can't even talk. But it's like an ant talking to you and telling you how to build a fighter jet. That's us talking about space and how far things are in space and how it started with the Big Bang. All this. We the ant. That's like an ant It's like an ant trying to explain to somebody how to build a jet fighter. An ant can't even. An ant. He don't even know a jet fighter exists. He might have walked on one before and don't even know it exists. He don't know. He can't even begin to fathom how a jet fighter works, or how he can't even begin to imagine. His brain don't even work in that fashion to even begin to imagine how a jet fighter how he would build a jet fighter. He can't even conceptualize. He can't even put his mind into that frame of thought to even try to come up with something. That's us and the universe. We can't even the shit we talking about. How we saying it's this and it's that and all that. It probably ain't none of that. It probably is a whole other thing that we can't even conceptualize. We can't even think. That's why we're not coming up with it, because our brain don't even can't even fathom the type of shit it's on. You see what I'm saying? That's what I think is going on. I think space and all that is so much of another thing, like a thing that we'll never understand. We'll never be able to travel space and all that. We'll never be. That's all movies and shit. That ain't real. That's something we'll never be able to understand. And we gotta be cool with that. We can't want we don't gotta know every goddamn thing. Some things men do not know. Space, that's one of them. They be talking about the sun and all that. The sun, but it's one thing that one question that I do want answered though, by NASA or whoever the fuck answer it. Cause that is, I seen it was a question on TikTok I seen, and it actually made sense. Okay, so here it go. If Okay, if the sun is heating up the earth, right? Because the sun does, I mean, as far as we know, the sun heats up the earth. We feel it when it's up, we feel it in everything, right? So if the sun is heating up the earth, why do they say space is cold? Why would the space in between the sun and the earth, why would that be cold? It should be hot. Why how does that work? Does the heat not, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does the heat not heat the space in between the earth and the sun, but it heats the earth? So how does it skip over all that space and heat the earth? You see what I'm saying? That part I don't get. That really don't make sense. That make you think. Like, damn, that makes perfect sense. Cause you can feel the sun. You can, when the sun is out and it's beaming, you can feel the sun rays, the heat. You can even see them sometimes if it get hot enough. You can see the sun rays. So why does it not heat space? Why is space cold? It should be super hot in space. Why is space cold? And why is the planet hot? It don't add up. That's one of the things that never added up to me. I be like, nah, this don't make no sense. This ain't adding up. The moon landing don't add up. They didn't have the technology for that. They couldn't have done that. They didn't have the right technology. You gotta, don't you know all this stuff is moving? So you gotta, when you leave out of Earth's orbit, leave out of Earth's atmosphere, you gotta be going the same speed as the rest of this shit. They say that all this stuff is moving. The Earth, the whole, they even saying that the whole solar, they even be saying the whole solar system is moving. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you leave Earth's atmosphere, wouldn't you have to be going the same speed as, how you gonna catch up with the moon? So is the moon in Earth's gravity too? Or is the moon in its own? How does the moon stay orbiting the sun? Orbiting the Earth. Somebody might be lying about some of this shit, cause some of that shit don't add up. It's a throw. I be thinking about that all the time. Like, what is this? We just on this. We just in this little situation like this. You know? How did we get here? What is this about? I think we are alien species. I think we are alien species. I think at some point in this, billion years, or however many years that people have been here on this earth, I think at some point aliens came here, and if there was humans, they might have breeded with the humans, and that's what created the human that we are. That's what I think. I think we more like an alien type species, and we just kind of adapted to being here. To me, I think that's where humans came from. If you ask my opinion, I don't think it came from two people and all that. I think it came from aliens coming down here and mating with the other people, and somehow they were able to figure out space travel some kind of way. Somebody gonna figure it out. I'm not saying ain't nobody gonna figure it out. Somebody gonna figure it out, but it's still not gonna be a big time thing like that. It's not gonna be no. It's gonna be like a one-off, and then whoever does it gonna die doing it. They gonna try to go light years out somewhere. They gonna die out there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be successful is what I'm saying. But whoever these aliens is, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they trip was successful. I think they figured it out enough to kind of just shoot out there. They shot out there, and where they ended up landing was Earth. That's where they ended up at. And maybe they bodies or something. I don't know. I'm just drawing straws. Maybe they bodies didn't have the biological capability to survive here. like that. So maybe they start mating with the humans to try to, you know what I'm saying? Uh, so they can survive down here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think happened. I think if you trace our shit back far enough, it'll go back to some aliens. For real, I really think that. Because why are we the only animals on this planet that don't fit in? We the only ones that don't fit in. All the other animals kind of fit in together. They all, you know what I'm saying? They don't just kill each other for nothing. They gonna hunt and kill each other, but that's to feed they self and they cubs and stuff. They not gonna just kill like a lion or tiger or whatever. Ain't gonna just kill another animal for nothing. So you know what I'm saying? They done figured it out. We the only ones come with all the chaos and tear down all the forests and the trees and build shit on top of the trees. We the only ones do all that. So it's like we almost like a virus to the planet. That's why I think we don't come from here. I don't think this is where we supposed to. We probably supposed to be some other planet or something that's like a concrete jungle and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't even built like this on no nature shit. That's probably our home planet and shit. This ain't even our home planet. That's why we don't fit in. We don't fit in with the animals. We think we smarter and better than them and all that. We don't fit in with the animals. So I think maybe it's a reason behind that. Because we ain't from here. I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that we are freaking an alien species. For the most part. And we done survived all these different centuries and shit just done got mixed up. You know what I'm saying? Us knowing where we, how we got here, where we came from and all that. It might even been an alien that wrote the Bible, kind of throw us off. They might have been trying to throw us off the trail of the real shit. So they threw the Bible out there knowing we was gullible and shit. Cause you gotta be gullible to believe any of that. Either you gullible or, cause a lot of people just drive, follow whatever they mama talking about. I think that's a lot of black men like that. Just mama's boys and follow behind their mama and shit. And the women, they want to be independent and all this type of shit so bad that they use Jesus as they man and shit. Like that's they man and shit. So they push that energy off to their kids, all that Jesus energy and all that. So I think that's mainly what it is. It's just a lot of mama's boy ass niggas who follow religion. You know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of be a mama's boy to follow that shit. Your dad, he didn't give a fuck about no religion. Think about it. Your dad, he didn't even want to go to church and shit. You know what I'm saying? He only went because he thought that's what everybody supposed to be doing. He didn't want to go. He ain't believe that shit. I don't think my dad believed that shit. I think my dad was teetering on the line of believing it and not believing it. I never believed it. I never have. And people be like, oh, you don't believe in God? Well, it's not something that I can control. You don't necessarily control the stuff that you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come up to you right now and say, uh, I jumped off a skyscraper and I survived. You ain't gonna believe them. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds absurd. That's the same thing with me in the Bible. I'm not gonna believe that because it sounds absurd. It's not me, like, purposely saying I don't believe this. No, it's me saying I know that people that jump off a building ain't gonna survive. So if somebody come up and tell me that, I'm gonna know they lying. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody come up to me and say, man, I jumped off a skyscraper and I survived. Right off top, I know he lying. Because a human can't jump off a skyscraper and survive. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I look at life for everything. The Bible, everything. Humans can't do none of that shit they had in the Bible. Humans can't create the whole human race. Humans can't do none of that. Humans don't owe nobody shit. So the Bible says the opposite. So it's gotta be some bullshit. Y'all, a lot of y'all just brainwashed. Y'all brainwashed into thinking that these different religions and all that are true when it's not. It's not true. These pastors manipulating y'all ass. They was mad about Drewski. Drewski did a skit clowning the churches and all that, but he wasn't lying. All the shit he was saying was real. About them putting on all these shows and shit, you know, super asking for money. They be on really asking for money. Yeah, I'm trying to buy this and do this. I need this much money. I tell people how much money they need, everything. Like, if you don't get your con artist ass, how do people not see that's a big con? How come that's another thing. How come I see that shit so clearly? Like, to me, it's just so clear that it's a con. Like, I don't even have to really look at it too deep to see that it's a con. Why do I see it so clearly, but then some other people just can't even see that it's a con at all? That's weird to me. But to me, it's like obviously a con. Like, plain as day, right in your face. It's like somebody's just stealing your wallet out your front pocket while you looking. Doo-doo-doo, just take your wallet out of your front pocket. Don't mind me. You know what I'm saying? That's the religion shit. This is a person trying to tell you about the God character. How you gonna tell me? What you know about the God character that I don't know? Oh, it's in the book. Why I can't just read the book like you did then? Why you gotta read the book and then I gotta get the info from you? You gotta read the book and then I gotta get the info from you? Why I can't just read the book? Cut out the middleman. That's where I got a problem with it. Why y'all trying to put a middleman between me and this so-called God or whatever? Why y'all putting that middleman right there? What's happening? Peter Mario. Just on here chopping it up. Ain't talking about nothing in particular. I'm going from topic to topic. I've been talking about the whole God concept for the last probably 20 minutes though. But I ain't gonna just beat down the door on that. I know people don't like to talk about religion and shit. But that's just where this conversation that went. Told you I be talking to myself. That's what I'm doing now. Talking to myself, and then y'all just getting to listen to me talking to myself. I don't fucking do religion. I don't give a damn what it is. Whatever. To me, it's all man-made, no matter what. It's all some person's perspective. I'm a person. To me, that lowers my value. If I follow another person and their perspective, that's saying what? So how does that put value on my perspective? If I'm following somebody else's perspective and how they look at life, they are human just like me. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever wrote the Bible, whoever wrote the Quran, whoever wrote all these different books, they are human just like me. Why would I put their perspective over mine? I never understood that. Why am I gonna, cause somebody say so? Because somebody else said I should do this. I'm gonna put your perspective over mine. For no other reason, just because somebody said I should do that. Come on, man, that name never made no sense to me. That never made sense. I'm gonna put somebody else's perspective over mine. How does that make sense? Anybody's. King James, David, Noah, Muhammad. Why would I put any of these people's world outlook over mine? Why wouldn't I just come up with my own outlook and how I look at things? How I want to address the religion concept, if I want to believe in a God or not. Why wouldn't I address that with myself? Why do I need somebody else to address that with me? See, why do I? To me, that's kind of disrespectful even presenting your religion to me. Even you just presenting, saying, "Oh, I got this thing. I want you to be a part of it." Right off top, that's already a cult. Because who the fuck is you to tell me about whatever? How you know I even believe in that whole concept? First of all, it's like you trying to imprint the fact that I need to believe in some of these concepts and stuff when you come to me trying to talk about your religion and all that. No, I think that's like somebody come and talk to me about Harry Potter or something, and I don't like no movie review type shit. I want some this is the facts type shit. Let me tell you the facts, and then start talking about Star Wars and shit. Fuck out of here. I know Star Wars ain't real. You can't just tell me any goddamn thing. You can't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. You can't. I'm too investigative, you know what I'm saying? And I done researched all that Christian stuff. And it's the goofiest shit that you can ever pretend to even try to do. That's corny. And a lot of your ancestors were forced into doing that. Forced into Christianity. They was killing them if they wouldn't do it. Cutting off arms and shit. Cutting off hands, cutting off shit if they ain't do it. Come on now. I'm not even finna disrespect my ancestors like that. To me, that's being disrespectful to my ancestors. So I'm gonna follow some shit that they got tortured with and shit. What the fuck? That's like when people be wearing the cross. Why are you wearing, okay, if you love this Jesus character so much, why are you celebrating how he got killed? You see what I'm saying? Because when you wear a cross, that's kind of what you're doing. You kind of saying, yeah, that's like you almost look more like Jesus op if you wearing a cross. You don't look like you cool with Jesus. That's something the enemy will do. Hang his bloody corpse on the chain, put it on a chain and shit. They'll do that probably one of their enemies and shit. Whack them, then put them on a chain and shit. That's what y'all doing. Y'all walking around with a Jesus chain with a cross on it. Don't y'all know dude got hung on the cross? Why would you want to represent the cross so tough when your so-called savior, this person you love so much and all that, died on the cross, but you got on the cross. You wearing one. I don't get that. That another thing that never made sense. You know what I'm saying? People be wearing these crosses. That's a symbolization of death, destruction. The cross ain't no good symbol like that. I don't know why y'all think that. I better do your research. But yeah, I'm finna get off of here though. I just want to come on here for a little second. Drop some content. I got some new content coming, gonna be on some more shit. So just stay tuned. It's